Hi guys, Friday again, and it looks like we've survived yet another week of lockdown. I hope you and yours are all well, and looking well, and the doves come to join us, you noisy perisher. Go away. I hope you and yours are all well, and that we're still carrying on and going to get through this together. Now last week you came with me on my exercise walk, and I tried to show some details of what's along the way, something to interest you. You might say, how can you do the same walk every single day and still appreciate it? Well, I suppose one, I don't have a choice, and two, well, it's a matter about concentrating on the little things, isn't it? See what you can see, and perhaps looking at the bigger picture. You take things like fields, for instance. You might think, well, fields are all the same, aren't they? Well, broadly speaking, yes, but take a little time and you'll see subtle differences. Okay, so this is meadow grass. Take that in. Then if we cross the road, that's a field in crop, much darker green. Now if we pop to the end of the field via this lane with all the cow parsley in, which has popped up since you were here last. This lane featured in my last week's video. This is the one where I can't tell which way is up. And due to a comment by Level Crossing, I'm not the only one that struggles with that. We're now number 3. Any more takers? This field has recently been cut for silage. It's a much lighter green. Some are tinged with buttercup yellow, and some fields aren't green at all. Ridge and furrow, always worth looking out for. This is where our ancestors grew their food and paid their 10% tithes to either the church or the lord of the manor. And that's just fields. Yeah, you have to, I think sometimes you've got to look at the bigger picture. We're all rushing, aren't we, to get to the finishing post, it seems like sometimes. And when we get there, we'll find it wasn't a race, and we could have enjoyed the journey on the way. Don't let me get too philosophical, for goodness sake. I'm quite sober. Right, so that was last week. Now, I have a little technique here for you that you might find useful. Look at something colourful. That'll do. See, my wife's pride and joy though, but I won't let her hear me running them down. Not that she watches these films. She says she sees enough of me in the flesh without seeing me on film, so I think we're quite safe. Anyway, I digress. Look at something colourful like that for a few seconds. Now close your eyes and imagine you can only see it in black, white and grey. I think there's some animals, aren't there, that can only see it in black, white and grey. So imagine the scene now in black, white and grey for a little while. Then open your eyes and look again. And suddenly the colour hits you. And it really is, I think, how to appreciate what you see that normally you don't see. Normally you don't see, you just glance and away you go. That works for me. Now, that's got that out of the way. Next week, floods next week. Going back a little while, we were inundated, weren't we? I took some flood films on a minor flood event, but before I could get it out and published, a major flood event came along. And yeah, we thought that was bad, didn't we? Crikey. And I thought at the time, well, if people have got their houses underwater, you shouldn't be promoting it and trying to make it look nice, so I poured that film. It's been lying in the background, time to bring it out, dust it off and get it published, I think. What I'm trying to prove is that in a disastrous event like a flood, it can still, if you get the light right and look carefully, you can see beauty in there. And I hope I've got 1 or 2 shots that show that. Hopefully, you'll be the judge. and then we'll see how we get on with that. So you need your walking boots next Friday. You won't need wellies. We stay in the dry, and we'll go and have a look at some pretty pictures, hopefully. So what happened to the intro this week then? Unbelievable.